All right. Welcome to the Blue Dragon Guild. This is our paint and chat. Dave's having a little bit of technical difficulties, but he'll be joining us very soon. As soon as we figure out what's going on with this thing. All right. Yep. Dave's working on it. He's getting his stuff figured out. Like the good old description says, we're painting some of our models for upcoming characters. I'm painting this human warlock, and it'll be pretty cool. Ethan, great to see you. All right. Yes, Mike. Technically, Dave was here on time. He's just experiencing some difficulties with technology. But that's okay. Hopefully he gets it figured out soon. I do know that whenever Dave does get here, he's going to be painting. Oh, there he is.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Dave.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Let me see if I'm going to try to position my camera. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah. So, Dave, exactly what model are you painting?
It's just sort of like this weird random guy that I found from Reaper, and
Yeah.
it's a really old. It's kind of an older one because it's metal.
Cool.
So I've already been working on it, and I started on it, and I used the. I also have like a shield that I'm working on with him that was separate, and I've got the shield pretty close to done. I've used some of the Afterburner, which is the Turbo Dork color shift, and
Cool.
I'll probably go into my spiel on Turbo Dork later because I'm kind of like equal parts pleased and equal parts disappointed. It's weird.
Ron, how's it going? Glad you could join us. Dave, I am painting this human warlock.
Oh yeah,
I don't remember which wave it was from, but
that's a Nolzur's, right?
yes, I think. Yeah. Ron painted a dragon turtle and a Draco Hydra last week. Both of those looked pretty rad, Ron, I must say. But what you should get next, that I don't know. These are both fairly large models, so maybe shrink down a little.
I'm trying something a little bit different. I'm going for a cracked leather kind of look on his gloves.
All right.
And I have some Vallejo crackle medium. I'm not sure how my video, I don't know on my end of my video if like this is right side up or that is, but whatever.
The first one you had was right side up.
Oh, so this looks correct from your angle?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. My phone's in like a weird, like bizarre position. But anyway, so have you ever used a crackle medium? Have you seen how that works?
I have not used the crackle, but I have some of the chipping medium that they have, which I have also not used, but I have seen how it's done.
So I'm going to give that a shot and see how it goes. If I can get my paints to open up. My ancient paint.
Give it a good shake.
Yeah, that's a Model Master. It's a pretty good paint. That doesn't give me too much trouble.
And I mean, Ron, I think a liver dragon sounds pretty fun.
A liver dragon?
He meant silver dragon, but I don't know. Liver dragon sounds pretty wild. But yeah, the silver dragon model is really cool. I like it pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh, Ron, don't be embarrassed. What, David?
I don't mind it. I think they're all pretty decent. The ones I've seen. The dragon models.
Yeah, I've got the blue one, the black one, and I think a copper one. It's the one that Mackenzie got me for Christmas.
Yeah. I got the brass one, which I don't think Mackenzie knew it when he got it for me, but that's my favorite of the good dragons.
Funny enough, the copper is my favorite of the metallic ones.
Yeah. Is blue your favorite bad one, or the chromatic?
It's tied between blue and black.
My favorite is green.
Green is good. The green one is good.
That's it. So I've been working. How much of the Turbo Dork have you used? Have you used much of that?
I have used exactly 0.
Oh, right. They've got several. Did you pick some up though? You have some?
I don't.
You don't have any?
Oh,
yeah, some. At any rate, but you're familiar with the line.
Yes.
Yeah. They have metallics and they have color shifts. Now, their color shifts are basically metallics. And I have one called Darknet, and it's not bad. It says it's a color. Okay, so I guess I'll start with this. I have one called Emerald Nightmare. It's a metallic. Darknet is a color shift. So the color shift ones, I have another one called Afterburner. It's also color shift. The color shift ones I find to be just so ridiculously subtle that there's not really much of a point. They do color shift a little bit, but not quite to the degree that you might hope for. And so my approach that I've taken with it has been basically just treat it as though it's a metallic, and any color shift you get with it is just sort of like a bonus.
Cool.
And to really get the color shift to go, because this is the I'll try to get it in focus here. This is the shield that I've done. I'm trying to get it in focus. It's so small.
Hold your
But
hand
basically, huh?
Hold your hand behind it.
Okay. Let me also take it off this thing. It looks like it's kind of a nice little coppery gold, and there's I doubt you'd be able to see it in the camera, but basically, it will do like a slight shimmer of a green on if you kind of catch it at the right angle. But it also requires an insane amount of light. Like if you have low dim light, just like your regular old, living room light bulb, you're not going to see hardly anything. But if you really get it under some like incandescent lights and stuff, it'll show up. But I'm really not super thrilled with the color shifts. The ones that I've got, I do have one called Ice to Never, which it looks like it might be a little bit more robust. So they kind of end up darker than I'd like, and they're not as they don't have the range that I'd like, which has led me to looking at other color shift options. One of them I looked at was Green Stuff. If you know about Green Stuff?
Oh, I sure do.
Do you have any of them?
Nope, but I know about them.
Okay.
I like Green Stuff for their other products.
I really haven't messed with them much, so I mean, I can't say one way or the other. They seem like they're probably pretty good, but I'm gonna pick up some of the color shifts. They look like they're really impressive, because if you look at a lot of the color shifts, people are always putting them on, plastic spoons. So, but on a mini, you're never going to have that range. You're never going to have a space, that size. It's so I'm kind of interested more in. I'm going to take a look at the Green Stuff, see what their color shifts look like. It should be pretty good. You have to also be careful how you say color shifts, because you can get into dangerous territory.
That is very true. Jumping back to the dragons, Ron says that the silver dragon is his favorite, but he loves the wings on the copper dragon, and
yeah,
I agree with that. That those are both pretty good.
The copper dragon, my second favorite.
Some guy named Mike Depew says bismuth dragon forever.
What a bum.
I'm glad you're here, Mike.
I don't know what a bismuth dragon is, but I'm sure it's super lame. You know what a bismuth dragon is?
I do not. I hope Mike will tell us. Either that, or he'll just leave you in the dark forever.
Oh, it's probably that one.
I do have like one thing from Green Stuff World. I have one of the texture rollers.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's not true. I have two of the texture rollers.
Okay.
I use them for terrain stuff, because they'll press into foam and leave like the brick or like cobblestone indentation.
Yeah, I've seen that. I remember you showing me those when you got them.
But they're made for like the Green Stuff, like 2-part epoxy that you can do to like make bases with. Eventually, I'd like to try that.
That sounds rad.
Mike says, have you seen a bismuth dragon in its natural form? Imagine a dragon being made out of that.
Made out of what?
Bismuth. Mike, we don't know what bismuth is.
I think it's a is that like a metal or something? I don't know.
I don't know. We just play D&D and paint minis, Mike. We don't know.
Yeah. Or we can't all be as cool as Mike. Gosh, I wish I could though. Every day I wake up, I think, man, maybe today I'll get to be as cool as Mike. And then I'm always disappointed. So what? You said you're working on a wizard or a warlock or something?
He's a warlock, but I mean you can use him as a wizard.
Yeah.
His coat is black.
Is his soul also black?
It depends on who his patron is, I guess.
That's probably fair. Oh, I just realized I'm not painting in the stream.
I do that.
Yeah.
Dave, it's in Pepto Bismol. Bismuth is metal that they put in Pepto Bismol.
Oh.
So, a Pepto Bismol dragon. I like it.
Yeah, I'd say if I saw that coming at me.
Yeah. Ron got him some miniatures from Hero Forge. He says they were fun to paint.
Rad.
Both Dave and I have gotten stuff from Hero Forge that we've both been pleased with.
Oh yeah, I love Hero Forged. Wouldn't mind a sponsorship with Hero Forged.
I mean, we should probably get like Cooler first.
Who?
Cooler.
I don't know that.
Freeze's brother, Cooler.
Oh! Wow, I cannot believe I missed that joke. Holy
Anytime.
crap! Yeah.
That's what I'm here for, Dave.
Yep. No, I just need this one. Sometimes you go too heavy on your dry brush.
Sometimes you do.
But by God, it looks good though. when you do it right. That was the sound of my cat knocking over the. I just quit knocking stuff over. She just knocked over a small bottle of Dawn, and then it looks like our onion powder. Your cat's pretty mischievous, isn't she?
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
Ron says it's always fun to make those unique customized characters on Hero Forge, and I agree. I've got several that I've made and saved.
Yep, I have too.
Just waiting for the opportune time to actually get them made up.
I have an Orsk on there from our very first 5th edition campaign that I put on there, and I'm waiting for them to come out with a straw hat. And as soon as they come out with a straw hat, I'm gonna plop it on him and print him out. I bet if I messaged them and requested that, they may do it, because they've got a lot of weird stuff.
They do. Ethan, no, we don't have any sponsorships yet. Maybe someday we will. Um, our reach isn't quite big enough for that yet, but hopefully we get there. Ron
But
wants to get
Ethan,
a what is it?
go ahead.
Oh, as I say, Ron, he wants to get another Kraken and do a different paint job than the one he's done previously. I like to do that. I got a couple of different minis that I've got that I've painted completely different. Um, I think it's easier to do it the second time around because you've already painted the model once, so you kind of know what you're getting
Yes,
yourself into.
I would agree with that. I've got some along those same lines. I've got some that I've worked on that I like did it, messed up, and I was like, man, and it's not and you can't really fix it, but I've learned from it, and I'd like to go back to it and be like, all right, now I'm going to make like a really like awesome looking one. Which I started with that. I didn't have the model with me, but I started with that with a few minis. Like I started working on the phase spider, but then I saw somebody do like a color shift with the blue on the phase spider, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks so good. Now it makes me want to go back and get a phase spider and do that with it.
That was the face spider that you did at Chris's house when we had a hangout day, isn't it?
Yes, yes.
Ah, painting purple on his lapels because I think it'll stick out pretty decent. But then I got it on his shirt. Ron wants to do a spider, but he can't bring himself to touch even a fake one, and I can respect that.
Yeah, I can feel that.
Ethan says, unfortunately, I must nap now. Ethan, have a wonderful nap. I hope you wake up very well rested.
Thanks for joining the stream. I'm actually applying the crackle medium now.
Cool.
Uh, the idea is you put on your base coat, which is going to be what the cracks will show up as, and then you let that dry completely and paint over like a top coat, paint like the top coat onto it, and then that's what will crackle up, I guess.
Cool. That's basically how the chipping medium works. You paint the
Yeah.
undercoat, and then you paint the second coat over it, and then you
Yeah.
take like a wet paintbrush and then just kind of brush away at it, and it'll chip off of there. I got it because I wanted to use it for that iron golem that I have.
Oh yeah. Let's
Ron says we have such steady hands. I don't know that mine are that steady. I'm braced on a lot of things. I'm braced on the table and
yeah.
on the arm. So on the arm of the chair.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like I brace up everywhere that I can. It's almost like I'm making a harness out of myself. Let me ask you if you've ever done this. Have you ever bought a color twice? I remember I saw like, oh wow, like this one's Skeleton Bone War Paint. I was like, wow, that's really cool. And I bought it. And then I went into another time I went into the shop and I was like, oh, that's a really cool color. And I bought it again.
Yes, Caliban Green from Citadel. Or no. No, I bought Caliban Green twice and Kachistan Flesh twice.
Yep. I bought a purple, which I can't remember. What was that called? Alien purple.
Well, that one's worth it.
Yeah. And I gave one of them to Chris.
No, that was your worst mistake ever.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that. That was really poor judgment on my part. I have a spray-on army painter that I used with this fella, and I got to tell you, I don't really like it.
The primers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The primer that I used before this is a Tamiya primer, and I really, really liked it. But it's like a kind of a very, very light gray color. And this one was black, and I was like, well, I'd like to have a black, but I don't like this one much.
I have the Vallejo black surface primer, and I really like it. I mean, I just paint it on.
Yeah, I want to get the Vallejo surface primers as well.
It's for this. I mean, it's painted black, so it's hard to see it like in the camera.
Yeah.
This Mirrormorn Banshee.
That's rad.
Ron bought Glistening Blood 3 times because he's semi-colorblind and thought they were different shades and they all look the same. Ron, I have that exact same problem. I'm also color deficient. Reds, greens, and purples are my hard to see colors. And funny enough, I think that's what I paint a lot of is reds and greens and purples. Mike says, are we getting a giant bucket of snow like they are? Yeah. Too much snow.
If there's enough snow, I will get off work tomorrow. And I can't say that I'm upset about that.
I will still go to work, but it's okay.
Yeah. You really don't get off much. Well, the advantage you get is you get the days off that are like the silly days, like Columbus Day and like any other kind of government holiday of any sort.
Yep. I found one of my new favorite greens.
Oh, go on.
It's Death Guard green.
Oh, shit. Death Guard green. I don't think I have that one.
It kind of looks tan to me, but I painted it on the Bodak I did in the last stream we did, and it looks really good.
I have a green I'm really looking forward to using. It's called Witch Brew. It's from Army Painter. It basically looks like the color of snot when you have a bad nasal infection.
Gross.
Yeah.
Ron has issues with browns, greens, and blues. When they get to the dollar shades, they all look like grayish purple. I feel you. Mike likes living on the city outskirts because frozen pipes and power outages from minor snowstorms are almost unheard of. Mike, I don't appreciate you bragging about your unfrozen pipes.
Yeah, I don't think since I've lived in Columbus for the last 4 years, we've not had a frozen pipe once. And we've only had I can't remember the last time we've had like a power outage.
That's good.
Yeah, we don't have much issues with that. Where Mike used to live, it was more of a rarity to have power.
Assume that's in your guys' old house.
No, that was before that. That was like when he was living out in like Portland on Sellers Ridge, where like there was a little patch of area that never saw sunlight and it would have ice all throughout the year.
Dang.
It's just, well, I mean, it didn't really have ice all throughout the year, but it was ghastly.
I'm
It was
gonna
a
think that
horrible
it had
thing.
ice in the summer.
I would.
Ron has a green called Rotting Flesh, and when it dries, it looks like a black plague corpse. And that
That's
sounds
rad.
amazing.
That does sound amazing. Who
Ron,
makes it,
what
Rod?
brand is that?
Yeah.
I'm glad there's very limited amount of skin on this model. Just his face.
Why do you say that?
Less for me to have to fix if I mess something up later.
Fair enough. I found I have a contrast here. It's Dark Oath Flesh. It's pretty good.
Cool.
Right now I'm using it to get like a leather effect.
Cool. Oh, man. You ever try a new technique for the first time and it just doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time. Like I don't know that I've really had it. I think the only new technique I ever tried on the first try and it looked good and worked well was the very first time I did dry brush.
Yeah.
Like, but it's kind of, I wouldn't say dry brush. I wouldn't say you can't mess up dry brush, but I mean, again, I was using a pretty big model too, so I didn't really mind.
Yeah.
That's back when I painted like porcelain models, which were like, you know, size of a bird.
Yeah. Ron says he will have to check because his paints are put away because he was he was babysitting some rabid kobolds.
Mm. Gotta watch out for those kobolds.
Yeah, you do.
I keep I keep forgetting that I'm actually able to move my camera.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just move the camera into a more conducive place for me. Imagine that. I don't know how I want to do the chainmail on this guy. Because I'm really tempted to do our old favorite of rough iron.
Rough iron
But
is a good color.
it is. But I also I have rough iron, but I have like I don't know how many. Let's see here. I have like plate mail metal from War Painter. I've got a iron breaker from Citadel. Like I have a bunch of silver colors that I've never used that I feel like I should.
Um,
And since
Heather
I
got
mainly
me. Continue.
oh no, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say Heather got me a Vallejo oily steel.
Ooh,
It's really fun.
is it a? I assume that's not a not a wash.
It's a metallic.
I got a wash called Oiled Earth from Vallejo. I'm
Cool.
excited to use that. Not sure what color it's going to end up turning out to. I assume like a dark brown. I also have the strong tone from uh Army Painter. I haven't used it either, so I don't know how that's going to look.
Hmm.
I really haven't experimented with that many washes.
I can't even tell you the last wash I put on a model.
You just don't do it anymore. Refuse it.
I haven't really. Last few I've done, I haven't really felt that they needed it.
Do you thin your citadels?
Yeah.
How do you thin them? I mean, obviously, like with water, but how do you transport them from the pot to your thinning medium?
Well, I got this big paintbrush here that I open the pot, dunk it in, slap it on the wet palette.
All right,
It's worked pretty well for me, so I'll keep doing it.
sounds good.
Yeah. Mike wants to know what's the most expensive paint that we own. Um, Probably the contrast paint for me.
Contrast or the Turbo Dork? I think they're both like $7, $8, something like that.
Yeah. So I got Army Painter, Citadel, Vallejo. I've got a couple of scale 75s, and I have one pot of P3. I got it just because I just wanted to see how it worked or how I liked it and everything. It's pretty good. Didn't have
That's
any
good.
issues with it.
I have uh, Army Painter, Vallejo, Citadel, Tamiya, Turbo Dork, Testers Model Master, and I think that's it.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all I got.
Ron says he thinks they changed the name of that green, but he says it's from the Vallejo Special Effects paint kit. I think McKinsey actually has that set, so we'll have to make him tell us.
Yeah.
So if anybody's seen our post on Instagram lately, we've been playing Icewind Dale. Dave, how are you enjoying the old Frost Maiden?
We played it for a while now, and I'd say it's probably the worst campaign I've ever played.
Why is that?
No, not at all. I'm really enjoying it actually. I really like it a lot.
That's good.
Of the pre-built ones we played, I think it's really solid.
I think it's fun. There's some things that just like McKinsey has said, because he's the one running it. There's some things that they've done that didn't make sense, and he's
Yeah.
said he's like, I'm skipping it because I don't care. And I said, sure.
Yeah, and I think there's also a level of that I think is um you kind of have to read the room and know your audience and know your
Yeah.
group. And that's the way it was like when I was running Yawning Portal. Like there're just some things that like our group or whatever like just simply would not enjoy. Like nobody's
Yeah.
gonna like doing that. And so which is kind of like that new book that's coming out that's all like one shot mysteries. Like I don't know that our group would really I feel like doing one campaign like that, like one of them but like a whole book of them, like I don't see us ever utilizing that in any way.
I agree. I think the Candlekeep Mysteries book is interesting. I just have zero interest in it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing there I really give a hoot about.
Ron just got him a copy of Tasha's Cauldron. He's enjoying that, and I
Heck
gotta
yeah.
say, that is a very, very good book.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, like outside of the PHB, and really only your DM needs the monster manual and the DMG. But like the first book should get is the player's handbook. The second book you should get is Tasha's.
Yeah,
as far as I'm concerned.
I'd say that's a fair.
Because it's basically, I mean, it's almost like a player's handbook too. Even though they don't want to go by that, call it that, and do that kind of thing, but it's
what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
What was your out of all of the subclasses? What was your favorite one in there?
I haven't.
Long sigh.
Yeah. I really, from what I looked at, the one I guess maybe I don't know about my favorite because I really haven't played any of it, but I really like the what is that? The Ranger Swarm Keeper. Like that looks really cool. Like that just looks like that would be a ton of fun. Which I think you played in the Epic game or that thing.
Mackenzie's playing one of those, and
Mackenzie's doing
Epic
that.
Level Fight Night.
Yeah,
I am playing a what's it called? The Wild Magic Barbarian, and the Peace Domain Cleric. The Peace Domain Cleric is just ridiculous.
What is ridiculous about it?
Literally everything.
Oh, jeez.
Like you can click your channel divinity, and you can literally just walk around and just touch your people and heal them, and it doesn't cause attacks of opportunity on monsters.
Wow, that is pretty good.
Yep. Ron has a campaign, or has a buddy whose character in his campaign is two goblins standing on one another wearing a coat. I love it. Mackenzie plays a goblin in Chris's game, old Zozu.
I feel like Mackenzie plays a goblin a lot.
It's not that Mackenzie plays a goblin. Mackenzie is a goblin.
That's correct.
And Mackenzie, if you're watching this, whether it's live or on the rewatch, you're a goblin.
You're a goblin.
Funny enough, I think Goblin's probably one of my favorite of the smaller races. I think just because it's just, there's a lot you can do with them.
My favorite is Kobold.
Kobolds are cool.
Yeah, always has been. I've liked kobolds since like I've discovered them basically.
Ron, what is of what you've looked at, what's your favorite subclass from the Tasha's book? Ron has a character who's a tiefling sorcerer pirate and he's afraid to use his magic because of something that happened when he was a kid. That's fun. I like characters like that who use their, I guess, flaws, I guess is what you would categorize that as. It's to me, it's sometimes difficult to get out of the this is a game mindset. So, combat breaks out, you immediately go fight. Well, what if your character is afraid of that thing? You're going to run away.
Yeah.
And I would very much enjoy a game where a character stayed true to who their person was, like in a combat situation like that. I would enjoy that from a DM standpoint.
For everybody else in the party, it's like he's running away.
Yep.
You fool! You've killed us.
I know you remember old James Byzantine did that back in the day when we fought Charlie the Spectator. Rest in peace, Charlie.
Byzantine wasn't worth anything.
I mean,
I
Orcus
said it.
sure
I'll say it
wanted a
again.
piece of him.
Huh?
Orcus sure wanted a piece of him.
Heck yeah.
But hey, we gave him that jar, the one that they said it was.
That's right.
He bought it. What we are referencing here is one of our earlier 5th edition games. This character by the name of James Byzantine got into a lot of trouble because he swindled some demon lords out of some souls. And it came around that James Byzantine was hanging around us for whatever reason. And all these Orcus cultists showed up. And they summoned Orcus in the front yard of Jike Meffers, who is our half-elf fighter. They summoned Orcus like in his front yard of his manor. And my character went out and because they're like, give us the jar of souls. My character went out with a random jar that Dave's character gave me, and I said, this is the one they said it was. I rolled my deception, and I bluff checked Orcus, and that's probably my most favorite moment in D&D for me.
Of all of them.
Of all of them. How many times are you going to bluff check a demon lord?
That's a good point.
Ron really likes the primal paths for barbarians and Tasha's. I agree. I think they're both really solid choices. I like the beast one a little less. But that might just be because I'm slightly biased because I'm really loving the wild magic barbarian from what little I got to play it. But man, it was good.
When did you play that?
In Epic Level Fight Night.
That's what I thought.
Which should happen again next week. Hopefully. All right. Got his pants done.
I think these guys' pants.
Now I need gloves, hair, and spell effect, and then his wand.
What are you going to color the spell effect?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Ron is always partial to magic users, but he likes the idea of a magic user who's afraid to use their own power, so his character sticks to a rapier and a crossbow. I think that's a fun, I don't know, archetype to go as with a spellcaster. I think that's fun.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Mike said a little bit ago that we should get some black 2.0 paint. It's the most light absorptive paint. Make some kind of void monster. That might be fun. Don't know how well it would.
Probably would. I feel like that would be expensive paint.
I agree. May or may not translate well on minis.
Mike, you want to sponsor the Void Beast? Please buy us the paint.
Mike has left the stream.
Did he really?
No. I mean, he might have. I don't know. Ron says he's hoping that his caster will, as his caster grows, he'll learn to control it and be more comfortable with it. Yeah. I'd say that'd be a really good character progression for your caster. I think that'd be really good. And Mike says it's $20, and who is he sending it to?
All right.
Mike, you can send that straight up to old Davy G.
I gotta paint the monster.
I'm just having him send you the paint.
Okay.
And then we can all paint stuff.
Oh, okay.
Ron says the void monster reminds him of the oil slick monster from Star Trek TNG.
Star Trek. Oh yeah.
I watched that episode not that long ago, but I do not remember that guy's name right now.
Oh yeah, I know. It was like Argon or Argos or I don't know.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's a great episode.
Yeah, it is.
And it's one of those character building episodes that I like, because you get to see Worf, like get promoted, and he's like, I shouldn't get this, and Picard's like, suck it up.
Well, I mean, they killed off what's her name? Yep.
Tasha Yar.
Yeah.
Yep.
Killing
AKA
characters is fun.
Mike says his name is Armus, so we were close.
There we go. Yeah. I'm gonna mark that down as a win for me. Of course, Mike knew that.
I expect Mike to know nothing else except extensive Star Trek lore.
Yep.
Now I want to go watch Star Trek.
What's your favorite series
Of Star Trek?
Yeah.
TNG.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's what I grew up on. I remember watching it with my grandma at her house. So I mean, like, it's just one of my favorites. I really like Voyager. Deep Space Nine is cool, but it's hard for me to get into sometimes.
Yeah.
But I do really like all the characters. Yeah, Mike says that they've been burning through Deep Space Nine. Not their favorite, but still rad. But yeah, like it's cool, but sometimes it's just not what I'm in the mood for. I know this is controversial, but I'm not a big fan of I'm not a big fan of the OG Star Trek.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my dad's favorite. Uh, Ron says he grew up with TMG. Um, Will Riker is always going to be his favorite, but he definitely likes them all quite a bit, and I agree that they are all good and each in their own way. Um, and
I'd say Riker's my favorite from TNG as well.
um, I I like old Pickard,
Yeah.
which
My favorite is the original only because my favorite Star Trek of all is Bones.
I like it. Um, it's funny because like Chris and I have had the conversation about Star Trek, and he likes Captain Kirk and the original because Captain Kirk was like, not afraid to fight stuff. I like
Yeah.
Captain Picard because Captain Picard was like he was the diplomat. He would talk
Yeah.
stuff through. And I think if you look at the D&D characters that I primarily play, that makes sense because most of my dudes are like diplomatic and
Yeah.
I'm willing to talk things through first versus just going and fighting. Except for Flint. Old Flint Battlehammer will let his sons talk their way through stuff, and then when old Brone messes it up, he'll bust out the hammer and fix their problem.
Actually, I was usually the one that caused problems in that outfit, if I remember.
You all had your moments.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I think about it like I think you were the only one that wasn't a troublemaker.
Ron says OG Star Trek isn't at the top of his list because it's it's dated. It's a bit too campy for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I agree. I mean, especially with all that we have now. Mike says that Discovery is surprisingly amazing. I haven't got to watch that one yet, or Picard, which makes me sad because as I said, I love Picard. So
I saw Picard. It's pretty good.
I've heard from multiple sources that it's really good. Dave, how far along are you on your mini?
How many of you gotten done thus far?
I'm focusing on this guy, so just one.
Is he done? No, you
Just
said you got a little more.
I got a little more on him.
I am. We'll say coming along.
Amongst our group, Dave is the best painter in the group, but he's notoriously slow when it comes to the painting process.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Well, we've discussed it before. Like, I like to get the like I think you and Mackenzie and Chris kind of churn stuff out, and it's kind of more about the volume uh, and kind of learning what you can within that. Whereas with me, like I put like 100% effort into every mini I can get, and so I don't really complete much, and I don't have a lot of minis, but like I just try to learn as much as I can from each experience.
I am 50-50.
Yeah.
There are some models I like to take my time on and get the best looking thing that I can. And there's some I'm like, it's a guard. I don't need to spend that much time on him. My the last painting discussion we had in our chat was like, we paint till we're happy with what we have, and whether it's, you know, Mackenzie's 20 minutes and he's done, or your 5 hours and you're halfway there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're happy with it, you're happy with it, and that's really all that matters.
Mm-hmm.
Dave, Mike is asking something about Bear Point, and are you still on it?
Yes. Please do not give out my address on the internet.
Yes, Mike. Don't do that. That's not cool.
You could have solved that very easily with a private message, but instead you have
17 people showed up at Dave's house today.
Gonna get all kinds of weird calls and stuff showing up. Typical Mike. What do you use to hold your mini?
Right now, I'm using a 5th season onion powder.
God bless you for it. Yeah, I'm using with a what? Oh, the tech. Yeah,
yep.
I use the tech as well. I have a spool of white thread that's got a lot of paint on it, and you know, bits and stuff. I like it because I like the texture of the thread. Like it just, I don't know. It's just, it fits my hand really well.
I like it. Ron says the big models that he posted on Instagram took him like 2 days because he was very picky and meticulous with them.
Yeah.
I've started one large model, and it's still started.
It's not reduced.
Nope, it's just I started it.
Worse.
There's a little bit of black on the black dragon, but I haven't messed with it too much. Yeah. Even though I know that we're gonna have to fight that black dragon in your game sooner rather than later, so I should probably get it painted up soon.
Well, I've had this guy since well before we started Icewind Dale, and I was like, I need to make it my goal to have him done before we get to Icewind Dale, and of course that didn't happen.
You know, it's just how it is. Mike posted your full address, Dave. It is 77 Yemen Road, Yemen.
Dang it, Mike. I really don't appreciate that. You don't know how many people are after me,
especially in Yemen.
Yeah, I am like top 5 criminals in Yemen.
Now the Yemen police are going to be watching our stream like, who is this guy?
You've killed me, you fool.
Ron has one of the mini holders from Citadel, like that one, I assume. I like it pretty well. I think that sometimes it's harder to get a good like underneath angle with the Citadel holders, but they're still good.
Yeah, I haven't really actually used them, but I've heard things and I've seen like a lot of people use them.
I got this Sequitur that I have to paint.
The what?
It's a
Oh,
Warhammer thing. Mike says the Bismuth Dragon is a coming and can only be beaten by answering his questions 3. Dave, I believe the answer to all 3 of those questions was just block Mike from the chat.
I agree.
I'm kidding, Mike.
You're quite right. I'm not kidding. Will be blocked. Permabanned.
I won't let him do it to you, Mike. Don't worry.
He can't. He's not awake all the time. I'm liking the crackle effect that I got. It's not quite as extreme as I'd want, but I'm wondering if I shouldn't have put down another layer of it. But it still looks pretty good. It's far too subtle to see in the stream, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could put a layer over top of it to make it crackle more.
Probably.
I don't know.
Ron says he agrees that it's difficult to paint with the Citadel handles, like on the underneath side. Yeah, that's kind of why I went to like random household objects, like the onion powder thing.
Yeah. What do you use? I see that. You've just got your craft board there to catch like your paint and stuff. Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I have. We went to IKEA some time ago, and IKEA has like this kind of paper in it. And I just saved all those papers, and it's kind of like this, almost like a newspaper type paper, but there's no ink on it the way newspaper is, because I don't like all the ink that might rub off on me. But I've been using these, and it's great.
Cool.
I mean, I'm not saying you should go out and buy something from IKEA just to get the paper from it, but
too late. It's already been done.
Yeah, he's on the way. Oh crap! There's a lot more paint than I meant to do.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Ooh, we've been going for an hour and 14 minutes.
You just let me know when you're ready to pack up.
Oh, we'll hop off here momentarily. I at least wanted to get this guy finished.
Which guy is it? Oh, that guy. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Credit roll just got here. I'm painting this human warlock figure from the Nolzur's line, and Dave is painting a ranger that he got from from the Reaper miniatures.
He's actually just a regular old town guard.
He's just a regular old town guard. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what he's actually called, but he's like a I can't something guard with crossbow. I wanted to do with a crossbow. That was why I got him.
Mm. Ron says he's going to have to get him some more minis so he can paint along next time. It's an awesome idea. Oh. I keep thinking I got all the colors out that I wanted to use, but I keep realizing I need more.
Yep.
Okay. Alright, other than the ground and the spell effect, I'm going to call him for the night.
Nice.
It
And my guys, I got a pretty good way on him. He's, I'm gonna fix some spots, and I need to do his crossbow. But outside of that, like he's pretty good to go. I'll try to base him up and have him all set.
Awesome. Well, thank you everyone for checking out the stream and chatting with us. We had a pretty good time.
Yeah.
Hopefully next time Dave will not have technical trouble and he'll be able to jump right in from the start.
Yes. Now that I know what I'm doing.
Yep. So we'll announce on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram that when we're going to be streaming again. So again, thank you everyone for watching. And until next time, roll some dice.